a piece of wood went to a sculptor and said, "Can you make me beautiful?" The sculptor said, "I am ready. Are you ready?" The wood said, "Yes." The sculptor took out his tools and started chiseling. The wood complained, "What is this you're doing? It's so painful. Stop. The sculptor said, "If you wish to be beautiful, you will need to tolerate the pain. All right, go ahead, but don't do so much in a day. Do a little every day." Now the sculptor began again. The wood kept complaining, "Enough for today, I can't bear any more." But the sculptor continued with his work, and one day that wood became a beautiful murti, a deity, and got established in the temple. In the same way, we wish to transform ourselves, the ugliness within. We wish to transform it into holiness. We wish to become beautiful and adorned with the ornaments of virtue within us. The difficulties, the hardships are God's way of beautifying us. So rather than lamenting over these reversals, we can see in them opportunities for enhancing our detachment. It's like a child who was playing with his toys and had forgotten the mother. Now, rather than fight with the child, the mother arranged for the toy to be snatched away. When it was gone, the child remembered he is hungry and he called out to his mother, who responded by coming there and feeding him milk. In the same way, we have forgotten our eternal mother, our eternal father, and we are playing with the trinkets, the sense objects of the world, the material entities. These reversals are the ways of nature for helping us turn away from the world to seek eternal life. Keeping that perspective, we can free ourselves from lamentation. As regards anxieties of the present, all we need to do is to have faith. There was once a naval officer who after marriage was going for his first voyage with his wife on the ship. Unfortunately, the ship got caught in a storm on the high seas and it was getting tossed by the waves. Everybody in that ship was anxious except for this sailor. His wife, looking at his calm demeanor, said, "My dear husband, how are you so calm in such a difficult situation?" He smiled. He took out his sword from the sheath and placed the blade on his wife's head. He said, "My dear wife, are you worried?" She said, "No." "Why not? This naked blade is on your head. It can go right through your skull." She said, "It's in your hands, the sword, and I have faith that you are my well-wisher. What's there to be scared about?" The naval officer said, "In the same way, I have faith that this ship is in the hands of God, and whatever He does will be for my best interest because He is my well-wisher." That faith frees us from anxieties of the present and helps us focus on doing our best. And that ultimately is the way for building our future. So rather than worry about the future, we can simplify the game of life. Do your best and leave to God all the rest.
There was a young man who tried his level best to clear his exams at university, but he repeatedly failed, and finally he just gave up. Thinking that marriage would be the best way to make him responsible, his family got him married. After the marriage, the man took up a job as a primary school teacher, but due to lack of experience was mocked by the students and finally removed by the school authorities in just a few weeks' time. When he returned home that day, his wife wiped his tears and comforted him. She said to him, "You can teach young kids only if you've taken formal training, or at least have some experience of teaching kids. And for you, you didn't study teaching at university, nor have you dealt with kids earlier. So how would you know how to teach kids?" Don't be too sad about it. When God says yes to your prayer, He gives you what you want. But when He says no to your prayer, He has something better for you. Probably there is a better, more suitable job waiting for you out there. Gathering some hope, the man kept trying to find opportunities, and when he did finally find one, he was once again chucked out of the job due to his slowness. Yet again his wife tried to encourage him by saying, "I'm sure there are people who are skilled and experienced at that job, and their experience comes from many years at it. As for you, you were in school trying to teach kids all this while. So how could you acquire the needed skills?" Don't worry. When God says no to your prayer, He gives you something better. But when He says wait to your prayer, He gives you the best. The man kept trying his luck with several jobs, which never lasted more than a couple of weeks, at best months. Each time he would return back home dejected and depressed, and his loving wife would comfort him. Never once was she disappointed or resentful. By the time the man was in his 30s, he'd found his calling and had acquired a flair in languages. He ended up being a counselor in a school for those kids who were challenged in hearing and speaking. And a little later, he opened his own school for specially abled kids. In a couple of years, he set up a chain of stores in different cities and provinces selling apparatus and equipment for the specially abled, and went on to become a multi-millionaire. One day, the now rich man asked his wife, "When I was so negative about my own future, how could you have so much faith in me?" The reply that his wife gave him was simple yet very profound and inspiring. She said, "When a piece of land is not suitable for planting wheat, we should try planting beans. And after all the years of efforts, if beans are not growing well, we should try planting fruits or veggies. And if the vegetation doesn't work, we can scatter buckwheat seeds. These seeds will one day bloom into flowers, and on the very land itself, there will be one seed that will germinate and grow." After having listened to the wife's explanation, the man wept. Her faith in him, her love, her patience, her persistence was actually responsible for the successful empire that they now owned. Ladies and gentlemen, no one in this world is useless. The land may be very fertile, but you may not have figured out your seed yet. It takes a while to figure out what's your seed, what works for you, But once you discover your seed, your passion, your calling, excellence and abundant growth will simply be a consequence. Until then, you need to believe in yourself. More so, you need someone who can believe in you and keep you going till you see your day.